here's what we are doing this week. We want you to do an experiment. We want you to get outside, obviously not around other people, but get outside, maybe in your front yard or wherever. We want you to walk around the house with a video camera in your hand if you have access, like your cell phone, whatever it would be. So you're going to use the scientific method to create an experiment or solve an issue. Now, I'm not saying like don't go and solve pollution in the world. Solve an issue like something silly around the house or something outside. Okay, I don't want you to come up with like, this is how you save the turtles. All right, I know you guys all want to be VSCO girls and be super cool, but we're not solving super big issues like that, at least not in this activity. Okay, you're going to create a video of you doing your experiment or solving an issue, or if you don't want to do a video, just write a paragraph explaining how you are doing your experiment or solving an issue. And I'm going to give you an example in a second. So, the required vocab is the words observation, question, hypothesis, experiment, conclusion. So in other words, as you're creating your video, you would want to say like, this is what I'm doing. Here is my observation, and then say it. Here is my question, state it. Here is my hypothesis, state it. Okay, if you are one that you need to write this stuff down, write these words down, write stuff out, and kind of just read it off to the camera, totally fine. All right, bonus words, which means you get extra credit for using these words. Now bear in mind, this isn't a graded assignment, but you may be featured. So using the words analysis, control, independent, and dependent variables. Those are tougher words. However, I think you guys can do it. All right, you ready for my example? I have a sink, so 3 different sinks. One has hot water in it, one has warm water, one has cold water. All 3 are filled to the same height. And I have some dirty dishes. What I'm going to do is put the dirty dishes into all 3 waters. They're not going to intermix or anything like that for 10 minutes. So those dishes on the left stay in the hot water for 10 minutes. Same with my warm, same with my cold. All right, let me go through this with you. I observe different water temperatures affect how food, grease, and bacteria come off of dishes without scrubbing. So in other words, I put 5 dishes in the hot water and I've noticed, the food, grease, and bacteria is coming off. I do it with the warm water, do it with the cold water, and what I am wondering is which temperature will cause the most food, grease, and bacteria to come off without scrubbing. So I literally put them in there for 10 minutes, I drain the water, and I look. I don't scrub, I don't help out in any way. My guess is if I soak it in the hot, lukewarm, and cold water for 10 minutes, the dishes in the lukewarm water will cause the most bacteria, grease, and food to come off without scrubbing. It's my guess. It's okay if I'm right, it's okay if I'm wrong. Here's my experiment. I place 5 dirty dishes in the hot water for 10 minutes. I place 5 different dirty dishes in the lukewarm and 5 in the cold, all for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I let the warm water or the water drain, and I describe how much food, grease, and bacteria come off the plates. Okay? My conclusion, you got 2 options for your conclusion. Either you are correct in your guess, and then you explain why you were correct, or you were incorrect, and guess what? That's okay. I was incorrect, and then you explain which one worked. The hot water worked the best. All right? It's okay if you're wrong. You don't need to start over, guys. If you're wrong, that's totally fine. All right? Now, there's an example. A few other things you wanted to know is I also did some extra credit. So here's the extra credit vocab for this example. Analysis, what you would do is you would actually count how many little, let's say how many little food particles came off a hot, lukewarm, and cold, and you could make a graph, a bar graph, or anything. That is analysis. It's to prove your point. So in other words, you're not standing in front of scientists going, oh, well, the cold water took off the most, and they would say, prove it. If you don't have a chart or anything to prove it, it's literally just your opinion, which is important, but you don't have any specific data to go along with it. Control, remember, this is the variable that's not changed. So the sink size, we didn't change that. The type of water being used, we could use tap, we could use whatever type of water, but that doesn't matter. While water is needed and a sink is needed, those 2 things we're not really touching, and that's not part of the experiment, but we need it. Remember, independent starts with I. What am I changing? The water temperature. And what are we looking for specifically? The amount of food, grease, and bacteria that came off the dishes. So there are your specifics. All right, going back to the activity, there's my example for you. So I already went over all this. Boom. If you create a paragraph, please email it to your teacher. You don't have to do anything else. Just email it to your teacher. If you created a video, know that your time limit is 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes, that's as long as Flipgrid, which is the app we're going to use for you to publish your video. That's as long as they'll let me allow you. So 10 minutes, so once you get to like 9:59, hopefully you can get this done in 10 minutes. Now, you're done with your video and you want to put it up online for others to see. Here's the cool spot. Okay, so I went to 3:30. Right here is going to be this video that I'm publishing right now that you're watching. Right here is going to be some examples of what I just did so you don't have to go through the video and find it. Right here says click here to upload your video. When you click on that, it's going to take you to this. It may look slightly different and that's okay. Let's update my topic. What it's going to say is basically there's going to be a response right here for you to upload your video and you're going to click on it. It's going to have you upload it and then literally it will go live just to the people on this page, and the only people on this page are 7th grade science kids. This is not for anyone else to see. No one else on Flipgrid, like public, can see this. Just all 300 and some of you plus Miss Martin, Miss Christensen, and I can see what you post. Now, we can also allow for people to post on your video. So let's say someone really likes something or they have a question or they say, I think the dependent is this instead of this. I love that and I want you to A, be very respectful of each other, and B, know that every post you make has to go through Miss Martin, Miss Christensen, and I before it physically goes onto the page. So with that being said, we're not just doing, oh, hey Max, or hey Jenny, or hey, I miss you. We don't want that. If you guys want to text each other that's fine. I want you guys to catch things. Hey, I think that the control is actually this. Or hey, I loved this video. It was really cool to watch. All right, that's what we're looking for. So know that every comment you make goes through us, and that's super important to understand. If there's anything, if you don't want your video to go live, that's fine. Just email it to us and we will not post it. So, in other words, our goals for you guys: have fun, get creative, see what your 7th grade friends are doing in science. You can even comment on the videos. And if you have questions, please email your specific science teacher. So Lancers, me, Camelot, Miss Martin, Champions, Miss Christensen. However, guys, please, please, please look at the resources before you email us. I tried to be very blunt with this. Next week's video is probably going to be coming from a different 7th grade science teacher, and that's okay. If you have questions, let us know, but we miss you so, so much. We can't wait to see you guys again, and I love that we're able to let you guys get creative. So I look forward to hearing from you guys and seeing what you guys come up with. All right, see you later.